balanced diet is essential to our physical and mental health. When we eat good food, we strengthen our bodies and prevent a range of illnesses and health problems, such as diabetes, heart disease and high blood pressure. Did you know that the brain, like any other organ, also needs specific nutrients to function at its full potential? Encephalon, the upper part of the central nervous system that controls our body, needs much more than just protein, carbohydrates and fats. Thus, the ingestion of a good combination of micronutrients, minerals and vitamins is important. In today's video, you will learn how to boost your brain with the best minerals. Calcium. Calcium works like a cell flag, telling the cell what is about to happen. It is also responsible for communication between brain cells, making calcium essential for the proper functioning of nerves and muscles. Iron. This mineral is part of the production of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen to cells. Its proper consumption improves mental functioning and academic performance. When consumed in excess, it can be linked to the development of Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. Magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for brain function because it is involved in many actions, including controlling levels of neurotransmitters. This mineral is important because it helps to control mood, memory and learning. Magnesium also helps control the transmission of nerve impulses and strengthens bones and teeth. Potassium. Potassium always works with sodium, which makes it essential for the transmission of nerve impulses. Its lack can cause apathy and weakness. Sodium. This mineral is, without a doubt, one of the most consumed in the world. Consumed as sodium chloride, or salt, it controls nerve and muscle functions and, along with potassium, maintains the balance of water in cells and tissues. Now that you know the 5 micronutrients that are good for your brain, be sure to add these foods to your diet, and if you want to supplement any of them, talk to a doctor or dietitian who can request the necessary tests and advise you on the best way to take the supplements. When I reach for my fork and chow down, rarely, never, do I consider what parts of my body I am about to feed. My taste buds are driving and I hardly recognize that all my organs, from my skin to my liver, react to the macronutrients that I put on my plate. Lisa Mosconi, PhD, neuroscientist and author of Brain Food, The Surprising Science of Eating for Cognitive Power, argues that when it comes to eating right, the organ you used to think should be the top priority. As a society, we are comfortable with the idea that we are feeding our bodies, let alone aware that we are feeding our brains too, she said. Some parts of the food we eat will end up being the very tissue of our brain. The brain-focused food short has been on the rise in the wide world of wellness. Nutritional psychiatry has invited the foods we eat to be part of the larger conversation about mental health. And research, including that of Dr. Mosconi, reveals why what we eat directly affects our cognition. In other words, everything in the brain that is not made by the brain itself is imported from the food we eat. Neuroscientist Lisa Mosconi, PhD. To function best, the brain requires about 45 nutrients that are as distinct as the molecules, cells and tissues they make. The brain, being radically efficient, makes many of these nutrients itself, and only accepts everything it needs from our diet. In other words, everything in the brain that is not made by the brain itself is imported from the food we eat, says Dr. Mosconi. The neuroscientist has dedicated her personal brain power to studying the blood-brain barrier, which determines which nutrients can and cannot make their way into the upstairs organ. There are doors in the brain that open and close depending on whether the brain is hungry. No other organ in the body has the same strict rules, she says. Well, good. Of all the foods she has studied, 7 stand out as absolutely essential for brain health. These are the brain foods of a neuroscientist who wants you to add